Hi folks, welcome to another video. This is Don at Affordable Desert Living. Today I'm going to share with you some of the trials and tribulations I've had just trying to keep warm and keep well here on the property. It's Arizona, it's hot, everybody says. You're going to cook yourself. It'll be so hot you just won't be able to deal with it. It's definitely not hot. As a matter of fact, this is a pot I put water in to soak after doing spaghetti sauce, and as you can see, I don't think the icy leftover spaghetti sauce is gonna come out. It did. Not quite the tropics this time of year anyway. Kind of noisy. Okay, there's ice in there, but it's not frozen solid like it would be back in Canada where I'm from. So that means I can get some water out of this. Start up the propane here. There we go. Get us some hot chocolate going here on this cold morning. So one of the things I've been really lax on, obviously, is getting my little place insulated. It's my fault, I'll blame me. Should have done it all a month ago, but I didn't. That simple. What's nice though is my orange juice in the morning, which in June or July, I'm just drinking hot water with orange flavor. It's all nice and chilled. I've got homemade apple pie that was given to me by the really thoughtful neighbors over there. And you check out my hummingbird feeder. This hummer feeder is very frozen. So I think what I'm going to do is give the hummingbirds a break. I'll take these inside and heat them up, and then for a little while then bring them back out. So anyway, winter time in the desert, but beautiful, and a beautiful place. So just a little bit of an update. Had a bit of the flu for a couple of weeks, so I was just working on my project of insulating the underside of the cottage with the rigid foam 4x8 boards, foam board, and unfortunately took ill. So one of the reasons for that is, even though I'm Canadian, I don't deal with cold very well anymore. And so it got really cold, and there was no source of heat. I have 4x8 styrofoam sheets that I use for insulating underneath the building. Boy, the wind did a number here in the last 3 days. I'll show you. These are my styrofoam sheets. I had them stacked over here and a big rock on top of them, and that didn't seem to matter at all. The wind just took things and just blew it all over. Even a glass bowl. I mean, how do you blow a glass bowl completely off the table? Even chairs, metal, plastic, whatever, just blown completely over. So that was an incredible windstorm. So I got to turn around and round up all of these pieces. I think one of them is even over at the neighbors in their horse pasture. This project will get done. It has to get done because I need to keep that subfloor area warm And so once we're up for it, we'll complete, on a nice day, we'll complete that. Unfortunately, my shower took a beating. I had it propped up, I thought, really well against this mesquite tree, but the wind just thrashed it and knocked it down. And it's a little cold right now for outdoor showers, so we'll fix it up when it's a nice warm day. So I wanted to talk a little bit about keeping warm. So as you can tell by the way I'm dressed, it's not very warm. As a matter of fact, the day before yesterday, it was 22 degrees Fahrenheit at night. And with it being cold, it's just hard to keep well. And of course, these days you want to really be careful about keeping well. So one thing I decided to do is purchase a heater. And I thought, I've got a generator. When it's really, really cold, I can get a heater that doesn't run that many watts. So the heater I got was called a Comfort Zone, and it was about $50. But the reason I got it is it has two speeds, 750 watts and 1500. So I'm no expert on engines at all, but I thought there's no way, having paid close to $600 for the generator, which I thought was really reasonably priced, by the way, that I'm going to overwork that engine. And so I'm going to take the heater back to Home Depot. Don't have my receipt, unfortunately, but I hope they'll give me a refund or at least a credit. And then I'll come up with another solution. So obviously I needed a source of heat, and I did a lot of research, and I actually special ordered from Home Depot a wall heater. Nothing in the description that I could see indicated that I couldn't just hook it up to a propane, small propane tank of some sort, like a barbecue propane tank. And then finally, just a day before it arrived, I dug further, and it said, this Procom heater will only work with a 100-pound propane tank. And I'm like, well, that's not helpful at all. Not at all. Because a 100-pound propane tank is not portable. I cannot throw that in my vehicle and then drive home with it. So obviously that wasn't a good choice. And fortunately, Home Depot, even though it was a special order, refunded me. So I got this little guy at Ace Hardware, and I'm not sure what's going on with Sierra Vista, and it being cold, but I went to Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply. None of those places had this Big Buddy heater. Ace Hardware, big shout out to them in Sierra Vista, super friendly staff, and it says the helpful place, they really are. So the Big Buddy heater was pretty easy to operate. You just take these 1-pound canisters and put one in each side of the unit. And there's plenty of YouTube videos showing how you do that, so I won't bother going ahead and showing you how it's filled or loaded up. And so I clicked the starter button a few times, and it actually worked and fired up really nicely. It does go through a lot of propane. So these 1-pound canisters, this is just a couple days of use for me, just to keep warm. So no problem, off I go to Home Depot, and I purchase this 15-pound tank. So I went into Lowe's, and I ended up buying this 12-foot hose. What I didn't know is you need a fuel filter, this gizmo here, also to connect to the Big Buddy. Good old Ace Hardware again. Had somebody within 24 hours get one of these from their Benson store for me, called me up and said it's here. I went over to Ace with my face all swollen from having my tooth pulled out, and got the fuel adapter, put it on, And I thought, great. I thought, I'm good to go. Did everything I know to carefully thread this onto the 15-pound tank. So the 12-foot Tough Buddy attachment, from what I can gather, this attachment will not attach to a 15-pound tank. Which brings me to a point. I've been using camera equipment, oh golly, since about 1974. I can take any camera I want and put it on a tripod because they're universal threads. Some really wise person decided all tripod heads, all bottoms of cameras will have a universal thread, okay? So who the heck was thinking when they decided to design something both from the propane tank end of manufacturing and the Big Buddy heater hose manufacturers, creating something that doesn't fit? Pointless. What I did read was that on the back, and my bad, it says this connects to a 20-pound tank. But again, I'm thinking whether it's a 20-pound, 5-pound, whatever, those should all have a universal thread. So I'm going to learn just what works and what doesn't. So to get to the bottom of this mystery, I took my 15-pound propane tank and my Mr. Buddy hose and went to a propane company in Sierra Vista. And the young guy looked at the hose and the tank and said, okay, let me try that. He immediately put it on and said, yeah, that fits perfectly. And I said, can I see you do that again? And he showed me again, and I couldn't believe it. The crucial lesson I learned: propane threads work just the opposite to any other threads that I'm aware of anyway. So instead of turning it one way, the normal way you would to loosen or tighten something, you do just the opposite. Pretty funny. I went through a lot of trouble just to learn a really basic lesson about propane. So I've been snuggling up to the Big Buddy heater in the evening especially. And I also left it on all night. I was a little worried about having it on at night because of toxic carbon dioxide fumes, but my place is very well ventilated. I can definitely feel all the cool air coming in down through those vents. So I wasn't really worried about being asphyxiated, I think the word is, by leaving the Big Buddy on all night. So you can see how the hose to the propane tank outside comes up through the floor and then connects to the Mr. Heater Big Buddy. One problem last night is I ran out of propane. So today I'll get an extra tank so that I can easily switch over when I'm running low. Thanks a lot for watching, folks, and stay tuned on the next video. We get insulated, and boy do we. So finally, we have a warm place. You'll want to see how I made the choice of what type insulation to use. That'll be all in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you want to know when I've got a new video posted, click the little notification bell. I try to post them every 1 to 2 weeks, and that'll let you know when a new one's up. Thanks a lot. I can hardly wait to read your comments. There's always some really good ones. Thanks so much for joining me.